Well, hello. Is anybody else wearing Halloween costumes today? Probably not. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to jump on. And no, I am not wearing the witch's hat the entire meeting. Because if you guys aren't even turning on your Zoom on your camera, then no costume. So today we are talking about pricing. And this is going to be super fun. Man, that really messed up my hair. Holy cow. I know I promised a hot seat to somebody. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for coming. I know I had promised a hot seat to somebody. So, hi, Mark. Good to see you. Glad you can make it. We are going to be talking pricing, and I liked how we did it the last few times. If you were in here, we basically everybody contributed. So everybody offered up thoughts. It was more like a mastermind than a training session. And I feel like those are the best. I have prepared a number of different pricing strategies that I've seen clients use with Hero, and I've used myself. And so I think that's always such a hard thing to understand is what do I price my products at? Like, how do I do this? So there is no right or wrong. A lot of it comes down to trial and error, but I will give you some strategies that I think will help you get started and help you figure out what to price your products at. So having said all that, how many of you guys have products out there right now that you're just not sure about the price at the moment? Because I know I do. Always. I'm never quite sure about my pricing, especially now when the economy is changing so much. I don't see people, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't see people jumping into the $5,000 products as quickly as they used to, even just a couple of years ago during the pandemic. So, hi, Diana. Nice to have you join us. So, it seems like lower priced products are where it's at right now, simply because people are a little bit tighter with their money. Carton of eggs cost a lot more. Gas costs a lot more. Everything costs so much more than it did just a couple of years ago. I am working on doing a custom built-in cabinets in my house, and I did it a few years ago, and the price is nearly doubled on the cabinet. So I'm rethinking the whole job. I think I might do most of the work myself simply because it costs so much. So, and this is what's happening with the buyers out there is they're seeing prices and they're like, I wonder if I can do this cheaper. So, this is what I have come across, and this is what I'm going to try to share today. Hello, Colleen. Good to see you. So that's where we're at. We're just going to go through some pricing strategies. And if you just joined in, this is going to be open mic. Like if you have ideas and stuff, just unmute, jump right in. You can raise your hand if you want to, but this is more of a knowledge share than me sharing everything or training here. All right. I'm going to give people a couple of minutes. If you want, hi, Pierre. Good to see you again. Just type in like where you're calling in from. I'd love to see where everybody's at. This also helps me with the scheduling because I do this on my time zone when I think it works best for me. And when I'm trying to get people from all over the world to give a best opportunity to jump in. So yay, we got another Central France. So it's a little late in Paris right now. Phoenix, it's doing all right. Yeah. So California, is that the same as Phoenix? I know it all changes next. By the way, Saturday is daylight savings. So we all get to sleep in an hour.
I was here with about 5 other people, but we were early. We were at 11 o'clock. Pacific instead of 12. So I
Yeah, I
completely missed it
know.
last week. I'm so sorry.
And I did that last week, and I said, I'm going to put in all the time zones in the invite. And then I forgot.
No, it
So,
was us.
Danielle says no sound. Well, I can't tell him what to do because he can't hear me. I think it's probably your Zoom. So, I'm going to just text him. All right. Mark says sounds fine. Okay, cool. All right. So it's Halloween. I've got a little one who is super anxious to like hit the streets, even though it's like 20 degrees here right now. Super cold Halloween. Sometimes it's 70 degrees, sometimes it's 20. This year it's 20. And he's excited to hit the streets and get a bunch of candy. And so I'm going to try to keep this really tight to the half hour, 40 minutes. Sound good? So, all right. And as always, I have created a document where I started the notes. And that way, if you guys want all my notes, I'll drop the link to this so you guys can just steal this in the end and use it. This is no pitch here, nothing like that. This is just my give to you because I really want you guys to make the most out of not just Hero, but your businesses. Because when you're in business, I'm in business. When I'm in business, you're in business. So, all right. Having said all that, let's reveal the first pricing strategy. And this is one of my favorites. And this is called, in marketing terms, penetration price, which I feel is kind of yee, but I like to call it the founder's price. And the founding price is something that I put out there for the first people who buy. And I'm going to, like always, refer to audio products, but a lot of times this can go towards subscriptions, it can go to software, whatever. And what I like to do is restrict the number of founders. It can be 100, it can be 500, and it can be sort of a, fake restriction. You can say there's 100, but I'm going to let you in, right? I think most marketers do that. But it's the lowest price that you will ever go with your product. So right now, I have a founder's price, or actually all my prices, I always start the lowest that I think I'll ever go, because it's easier to raise your prices later on than to lower them. I was just on a call with a founder today, and he's pricing his software at like 99 bucks, no buyers whatsoever. And he's planning to lower it, which I think is a good idea for what he's offering. But I'm glad he doesn't have any customers, because if those customers bought and they're paying 99 bucks a month, and then he lowers it to 49 bucks and they're still at 99, they're going to be really sour. So always start with the lower price because it's easier to raise it later on. Now, with the founders, I like to let people know that they are my founders. It's sort of like a badge of honor. And you can even put it on your website. Like, these are the founding members. These are the first 100 members. So when they join, when they purchase, get their photo, get their name, put it on your website. It's, what do they call that? Social proof, so that people are buying. So founders price is really the lowest you'll ever go. And you can go crazy low because it's going to open the floodgates and it's going to get your first buyers. So I usually go, with an audio product, $5. Sometimes I'll even do $1, right? Like, just a no-brainer. Who cares? Now, if you're doing a membership, you could do a reduced rate for a year. So if you're going to jump in at a year, and my subscriptions are the next one, so I won't get too much into subscriptions, but you can give them a reduced price for a year, or you can give them a lifetime deal, an LTD, as it's sometimes referred to. I don't really like LTDs because they can be expensive depending on what you're doing, an LTD. So founder's price, go as low as you want, restrict the numbers, and let people know you're looking for founding members. And you can even have different tiers of founding members, like those who get their name on the wall versus those who don't, right? Like the $1 founders versus the $100 founders. So some people really like that recognition, and it will really sell if you put that recognition out there. You're going to get your name. You're going to put a link to your website. We're going to like write a little bio about you and put you on my website. So any comments, anything I left out with the founders member? Anybody have any ideas or thoughts that you want to throw in there? Yeah, go for it.
I was just typing it all up. I am huge on MRR, monthly recurring revenue. For those, I'm sorry if I hate when people throw acronyms around. I'm huge on monthly recurring revenue. So I do a membership on almost everything, but I have a lot of courses, digital audio courses that come with ebooks and everything. I've got a bunch already in the can. So where I would usually sell like 30 Days to Happiness, for example, which was my most recent one, for it's actually $197. But if I was doing it as an audio course, let's say it's $47. You can buy it individually for $47, but next month I'm coming out with this, and the month after that is this, and we've got all these once a month. So you can become a member for $37 a month or $27 a month. Actually, I'd probably go with $27 a month. And that way you're guaranteed to get all of them. So you can either sign up for $27 a month and pay them monthly, or you can sign up for $270 for the entire year, which gives you annual recurring revenue, and you get 2 months for free. So you can do it for $270, knowing that there's going to be a $47 product released every month. So again, it kind of goes with your founders thing, but you're guaranteed this monthly recurring revenue because you're going to consistently come out with audio courses every month. And with ChatGPT, it can take you between research and recording on 11 labs and the whole shot, maybe a week.
Tops. What was your individual product price?
47?
Well,
my 30, yeah, just say 47, because my 30 Days to Happiness, for example, comes out with, there's the audio that comes out every day, once a day for 30 days. And it's an 8-minute audio, ranges between 7 and 9 minutes. And then there's a journal that goes along with it and an ebook. So
I like that. Okay.
All templated. Everything's a template. You just change some colors. You don't even have to do that, but you can get book covers. You can use Midjourney for graphics. You can, they're so easy. And if you use 11 labs for audio, you just upload your voice, and then you upload your script, and it just records it in your own voice, in your own inflection. And you can actually do it with, that kind of stuff. And then you don't have to go back and edit out your mouth noise or the ums and ahs, or you just upload the script, it records it, it sounds amazing, you're done. So, but yeah, I'm big on memberships and monthly recurring revenue. That's probably, I make about $250,000 a year just on monthly recurring revenue stuff. And so I have different types of memberships. And so it's that exclusivity and part of that, like you were saying with the founders. I really like that name. I may have to try to incorporate that.
Yeah, go for it. I got that from Stu McLaren.
Yeah. Oh, Stu, of course. But yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm looking at as far as pricing and how I do it and how I come up with products and all of that condensed into a tiny little.
I like it. So really, she jumped ahead into my next one, which was subscription pricing. And I put bundle in there as well, because then what she did was she said, look, you can get this, pay $47 a pop, or buy a subscription and you can get everything. So yesterday I was checking out a website for a woman that I think she does energy work or something like that. So normally you sign up and you get a session for an hour and a half, and it's like $200. But her pricing model was buy a subscription, and every month on the first Monday of the month, I'm going to do like a cleanse of your energy in your house or something. You don't have to call or anything. I just do it every month. And if you do that, then everything else on my price list is discounted. So if you need a 1-hour session, it's $40 off or whatever. So the monthly is like, I think it was $27 or $17, and you got $44 off of the 1 hour. So if you're going to book an hour, you might as well get the subscription. It paid for itself. You guys getting that? Should I write that one down? So she had, I think it was, and I'm guessing at the prices, $200 an hour session, or I'm just going to throw out $150 if you are a member. And membership is, I think it was $17 a month. So it kind of paid for itself for the first few months. And then she has that ongoing revenue, and you're probably going to stick with it because you're probably going to have all this great energy all of a sudden and all that other stuff. So it made that subscription a no-brainer. And that's really what we're looking for, is how can we make this a really no-brainer? I'm going to give you another one, and I'm probably kind of jumping ahead. Have any of you guys heard of the book? And I'm going to uncover this, Predictably Irrational. Have you ever heard of Predictably Irrational? No. Please go out, read the book, listen to it, and then thank me later. I listened to it probably 5 times at least, and I never listened to any books more than once, hardly at all. It goes through a whole bunch of pricing strategies. It's just basically how the human brain works when it's buying stuff. And I won't go directly into everything in the book, but one thing they cover is right here. I'm going to uncover this one, which is decoy pricing. Decoy pricing is really, really cool. And I'm going to explain it with a subscription model. So basically you have other prices that are just decoys. I'm going to give a backstory. When what is it called? The bread machine first came out, big box bread machine. They priced it at, I think, $250. Nobody was buying it. And they came out with an identical one, looked everything the same, and they just priced it at $99. Suddenly, everybody owns a bread machine. Because the 250, they didn't have anything to compare it to. And that's why nobody bought it. Like a bread machine, first off, what is it? And then $250, I have nothing to compare this price to in my brain. So I don't know if it's a value or if it's too expensive. And so you put another price up there as a decoy, so they have something to compare it to. And I'm going to share this with a friend of mine who has a software, and he has 2 levels of membership. He has 99 and 199. Okay. So those are the 2 levels. You get different stuff with the 99 versus the 199. But then he also has a 75% off. I don't know if it's a lifetime deal or an annual price. I'm going to put annual, and I'll just say it's like $250 a year. And what are you going to do? If you were confronted with those 3 prices, which one would you take? I mean, you'd probably go, well, I can get all the features. I can get the premium level, and it's only a little bit more than the 1 month. So I might as well go for the annual. Now, he did some math in advance, and he knew that his average customer value for that software was probably around $199 or something like that. So we bumped it just a little bit above because he knew he'd get at least that much. And so now he's going a little bit more. So those other 2 prices are decoys, the 99 and the 199. There's a guy, brought him up, and I think that's how you spell his last name. Sorry, Sharon. If you're on this call, please put it in the chat. I should know it by now off the top of my head. I say your name so many times, but he is a very smart man. And when he first used his audio, hero.fm, he did it something. I want to think about this. So the audio coaching, I think, is what he was for like $1,000. for his Hero FM audio show. That's what the price was. You get it for $1,000. Or you could sign up for my monthly newsletter for, let's just put $97 a month, and I'll give you the audio program for free. So the 1,000 for just the audio was a decoy. What he really wanted them to do is sign up for the monthly newsletter for $99 or $97. Okay. And you can always throw in more things like Glean did. She's like, yeah, you're going to get the workbook. You're going to like, it's color by number, sort of just simple, easy. Yeah. Mark, thank you for the notes, by the way. Is that AI?
No, that's me.
That's human.
It's funny because I do this in some of the masterminds, like with Perry and them, and people say thank you, and I tell them it's very selfish because what I do is it timestamps when I download the transcript. It timestamps so I know that you said this at this time. So really, it's for me, but a lot of people get value out of it because they save the notes. But I always tell them, look, I'm not always in the mood to type, so you guys better take your own notes.
That is really, really good. I'll have to make sure everybody gets that. All right. Now, any other stuff with subscription? I think Colleen did a great job with, thank you for sharing your little secrets, by the way. Really appreciate that. Anyone else?
I think what we need to do from a product or offer perspective, I think really boils down to what is the money goal, right? What are we trying to earn, right? Because then you could figure out, well, if I'm trying to do $10,000 a month, what's the easiest way to get to $10,000 a month? Well, I get one client to give me 10 grand or two clients to give me 5 grand and so forth all the way down the line. So how many would it take at $97 a month or whatever it is to hit 10 grand a month? So I'd need 100 people. So I'd like to start like reverse engineering what the number is. Like we had a prospect meeting yesterday with the client, and she wants to hit 4 million in 2 years. And I said, well, that you're gonna have to work your, excuse my language, ladies, but you're gonna have to work your ass off. And she's a manifesting, coach. And I told her, she's comparing herself to all these people, but I said, you have none of that in place. You have no courses, you have no this, you have no this, you have no this, you have no this, but yet you want to be at this level. So we have to start with your foundation first. Let's start with that small number that's attainable. What would it take to get to you $5,000 a month? And then we can double that and then double that and so forth, so that you get those small wins and you don't get discouraged. Because I think that's where a lot of people fall short is, I'm going to put this out and I'm going to put this membership out, or I'm going to put this product out, my hero.fm book, and then they don't make sales and they just give up. Instead of saying, let's get to, when we start with brand newbies, we always start them at $500. We did a survey of over 3,000 people. You guys might find this interesting. What was the number that it would take to change your life? This was many years ago. We surveyed people in the IM space, and believe it or not, people said $500 a month would change their life. And I'm like, do you know how easy that is to make? And that was back then. And today it's even easier with AI. Yeah. So I say first, like, figure out that number that you want to hit, and then how can we reverse engineer that to get to that? That's just my opinion.
That's really good input. Thank you, Mark, because that is really important. Is that a couple of things that I want to point out is what is attainable. That is super smart, because I think a lot of times when we find a solution or an opportunity or strategy in the marketplace, they're like, yeah, and you're going to make $1 million. Like my cousin texted me on Sunday. She's like, I know you're probably praying right now, but will you check out this offer for me? She wants $10,000 and I'll just review stuff on Amazon and I'll make $1 million. And I'm like, yeah, it ain't going to work like that. Right. So, I think, a lot of times they hype up the results. So what is attainable? What is really, truly attainable? And I don't want you to aim too low, because that'll cause problems too. But also know what you can achieve. That's really super smart. And then how can you grow that at a fixed percentage every month? That's also very important. You may not hit it in month 1, but can you do it by 6 months? Where can you be? So very cool. Thanks, Mark.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is kind of for Colleen or even for Mark, but are you using AI to create your programs that you're offering people, like the 30 days of, I forgot what you called it.
Mine was 30 Days to Happiness. That one I actually wrote from scratch, and it took me about 2 months. Now I use ChatGPT because I subscribe to it. I pay for it. I use it for research, and that I have a whole process that I go through. So I go through the research and I break it down step by step by step by step. Use it for, give me the top 10, then give me an introductory, give me a chapter outline, give me, And then I also do it and then I run it through Quillbot, and I run it through all these other things that change it from AI speech to natural speech. And so there's a whole process I go through, and I also have it write my Facebook copy, my Twitter copy, my LinkedIn copy, all that kind of stuff. But I don't just cut and paste and use it. I always put it through other filters and my own voice. So the final edit is always in my own voice. And I go through, I change words. I would never say it that way. I would do this, I do that. And so now ChatGPT is actually learning my writing style and my speaking style. And it's starting to write more and more. It's giving me copy that's more true to how I write in the first place. So I'm finding it easier to put it through Quillbot and these other things. And then my final edit is so much easier because it's learning my voice. Does it make sense?
Well,
So,
yeah, I mean, I find it's amazing that you're taking these ideas and then making them a sellable product. I think that's pretty cool.
I've been doing it for years. It's just now I'm using ChatGPT to do it.
You're just cranking it out twice as fast.
I'm cranking it out like crazy this week. I've got, I'm a business consultant and I work in mergers and acquisitions. So that's kind of what I do now, but I still do a lot of coaching for executives and that type of thing. And then before that, so my entire life, as I've grown my, some of my people came with me, some of them didn't, but I've grown into different areas. So I've been doing this kind of stuff for a very long time. So I have a lot of products, and my goal in the next couple of weeks is to churn out next year's content on one of my verticals. So I have, like I said, I have different memberships and different things. So I want to devote a week to devote it, developing a year's worth of content for this group. And then next week I'll do this group, and the next week, you know what I mean?
Wow, that's amazing.
I think the approach, again, Troy, it all depends on what you're trying to do with it. We do teach our students how to do that, but what me and my wife do is on a whole different level. And so what we do is we charge $5,000 for doing a signature talk. And from that signature talk, which we walk them through this whole interview, about an hour to 2 hours with the client. From that signature talk, then we have the content that we could pull and do a 1-hour interview. So we either do it over Zoom, or we do it like if they have a podcast or whatever, we could pull from that. And then we use repurposing tools that are out there. A lot of people like to use Capsho. I personally don't like to use Capsho. I use a different tool, or you could do it manually. So when it comes to ChatGPT, you can actually train it with, they have what they call custom instructions. So you could put those 2 paragraphs, but it's limited in how many characters you can use. So what we've taught people to do is put their entire brand voice in a PDF or what have you, doc, or text. Then you could drag that and drop it into ChatGPT, or you create the persona that is you and your voice and your, what they call it, your brand voice. So Jasper and all these other tools have that now, where you could choose this profile, that profile, this profile. You are a SMS tech marketing expert with a specialty in email as well, or what have you. And then if you want to write a series of emails, you use that persona to write those emails. You are a children's author who, when you could get as deep with this as you want, you have this many years of writing, you've won awards, you're, world-renowned expert in this. So when you set up those personas, then it'll take on that role and it'll write from that position or that place. The more you give people say it doesn't work for this, it doesn't work for that. It's that they're using the wrong prompts, plain and simply. You literally can do anything with it, just like with Midjourney and graphics and artwork and video. If you know how to feed it right, junk in, junk out, gold in, gold out.
Yeah, you guys are just way more advanced than I am. I'm starting from the bottom with nothing, and in fact, right after this, I got to run to the hospital because my sister's in there. She's had a stroke. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. She's lived 5 years past her due date, so she's doing all right, if you ask me. But again, I appreciate the information. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Carla, one more thing.
No, it's all right.
wanted
I
to
was
encourage you.
reading the
Go to
chat,
YouTube
Peter.
University. Go to YouTube University. That's the best way to learn. Start watching different channels. One of the guys that I love watching, of course, check out Carla, of course. But one of my favorite guys to tune into is Matt Wolf. He's like every week he's on top. Like he gives you sometimes 2 or 3 updates. And then he has futuretools.io. So you can see all the tools. What do you want to do? You want to write? You want to do graphics? You want to do art? Matt Wolf is amazing. And he's so plain down to earth, so plain spoken. He's just like the guy next door. He's amazing. I love learning from individuals like that. And you'll find your favorites.
Very cool. You know what? I feel like we should just do a session on AI tools.
Sure. One of the things I was just going to share, one of the things that we do in terms of subscriptions that I learned, I can't remember from where, but it's been really helpful, is we want to use subscriptions to encourage more future prices, more future purchases to increase the lifetime customer value. So we have what we call an inner circle. It costs $15 a month. If they're in the inner circle, they get free shipping on everything because we have some physical products. They get, I do a live show every day on TikTok, but they get access to a once a week office hours with me that's private. So only if you're in the inner circle can you talk, because there can be like 5,000 people on the TikTok show. So only a certain amount of people can get that in. And they get a $10, so they pay $15, they get free shipping, they get access to this, and they get a $10 credit banked for future purchases. And so basically you're just trying to get that recurring revenue, but the reality is that so few people use it. It's shocking. It is
the $10 credit.
Yeah. And I said, look, you can just let it bank. You could do it for whatever amount that you wanted. But that is when I talk to people, that is the main reason that they sign up for it. But even the ones who are buying things, they forget they have it. They don't use it. So it's just $15, $15.
This is really interesting because didn't Walmart just do something with memberships now? You can be a Walmart member. I don't know what the perks are, but
it's Walmart Plus.
Yeah.
I've had it for 2 years.
I do use it.
I get my groceries delivered for free.
Nice.
Yeah, they did a new thing last week where now if you get your tires from them, normally it's $10 a month per tire to have like flat insurance or whatever. And I used to live on a gravel road. Well, my property, it's no longer, but and so I was having flat tires all the time. It's $10 per tire. And now that's included, so if you buy your tires there, they include that for free. Fee? It's like $98 a year.
They're making that play. They've been trying to compete with Amazon for a while, right? So it's their answer to Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Or is it their answer to Costco? Because Costco has sold more clothes than I think like the Gap and that whole line combined. Like that whole, what is it? Gap, Athletic, and what is it? They have a whole bunch, Banana Republic. I can't remember. Like they sold way out in just the clothing. Like, I don't even know what their pies say. Like, how do they do a $5 chicken? That's what I don't understand. Or a $6 pie. That's like, anyway.
The thing with Amazon and Walmart though, is that they're inviting me to open up a store and be a seller, and we could sell on there.
Yeah.
Whereas Costco's not doing that as aggressively as Amazon has been and Walmart, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Does anybody buy from Costco online though?
My son does, and my wife does. She's nodding yes. They order online a lot, especially, the convenience of just being able to pick it up or have it delivered.
Yeah. Yeah. But then you don't get to do the rage wars with the big cart. Okay.
Oh, darn. I mean, that's why I go to Costco. It's just a rage war with you.
Yeah, the free samples.
Get my aggressions out. Get away from my samples.
My wife was saying they have exclusive deals that you can only get online, she said.
Yes. Yeah.
I bet. Yeah. All right. Impulse buy. So that one's pretty predictable. It's this is what I love the most. Like my audiobook is priced at that, and it's just $5, and I bundle it with a whole, so it just looks like it's kind of like this pricing with a $10 credit. It's like, how can I go wrong with $5, right? Bundle it with lots of automated stuff. So nothing that's manual, none of your time, none of that stuff, just everything is automated, whether it's PDF downloads, trainings. ChatGPT can give you a whole bunch of ideas, but really it's just a bundle of things. And when you do the bundle, somebody posted in a Facebook group he's using the exact same strategy that I'm using for the audiobook. He's using it for I think like weight loss or something. And his wasn't converting at all. And his bundle made it look like his process was too complicated. So if you're going to be bundling stuff in, it's to make the process simpler. Like Colleen said, it's color in the lines, it's fill in the blank, it's tap a button, you're done. It's a calculator. It's something that shortcuts the process. And his was making it look way too complicated. So it's not just about throwing stuff in there. It's really strategically trying to make it look easier. And then my last one that I have here is order bump. And I put this in here because I think a lot of people think they have to sell the audio product either as a standalone or as the main product or something, but it can be a bump. For example, with all of my courses, all of my video courses, I create an audio version, and depending on what that video course is, I might just record the audio separately. I won't use the video recordings and create an audio recording from those videos. I might create a separate one for the audio, and then I'll sell that audio recording for like $37 for the audio version. Okay. Conversions are pretty good. Not wow, not going to make me rich, but this is where it comes in super handy is when people come back with a refund request because I don't have the time. Then I gift them the audio version. Can I give you the audio version and you can listen to it instead? Let's at least try that first because I really want you to get the results. When I do that, my refunds are practically zero. There's always one person that really just wants a refund, but most of the time that will reduce my refund request. So very important is that you don't just throw in the audio version into the course bundle. It's a separate bump. It's a separate, does everybody know what a bump is? I sometimes use these terms. So a bump is like a little additional thing you can throw into the cart at the end. There's a lot of stores that are making the line super long and at the checkout, so you can buy as many bumps as you want. It's like first you go through the candles bump, and then you go through the snack bumps, and it's like bump, 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 bump. I just only have a couple, and audio version is one. And don't give it away for free. Sell it as an additional thing. So
one thing that kind of combines AI and what we're talking about with pricing. So we just built an AI bot we work in the fertility space. We help infertile people get pregnant. And so I basically just built a little AI tool that could do custom menu planning. So it asks the customer 12 questions. Do you have PCOS? Do you have endometriosis? Are you trying to get pregnant, miscarriage, whatever? And then based on, I just basically built a little AI model with all the peer review data, plus I'm an acupuncturist by training forever ago, all the information about how to use Chinese medicine, food therapy. And then it just pops out a week of custom menu planning with the right macros, with the right foods. And then it explains to them, oh, well, we're giving you in the first part of your cycle, you have a lot of menstrual pain. So we're going to over index on iron rich foods and anti-inflammatory, whatever. But because it doesn't cost me anything to deliver it, it seems like a high value access piece that we can bump, that we can, order this and you'll get 6 months of menu planning for free or whatever.
And you use AI to do that.
Oh yeah.
That's really smart. Yeah, I almost feel like we got to do a whole AI session because there is a lot that I went to a conference last week. I met Mark at an AI conference, but there's so many tools. I think Perry Belcher spoke at the conference last week, and he gave a number. So you guys all know OpenAI or ChatGPT, right? So he gave some numbers out, and I'm going to pull these up because I was just shocked by this.
While she looks for that, you could use formwise.ai to build out some really neat, quick software apps. Troy, it's very user friendly, and you could create an app real quick for lead generation, giving away stuff. Check out
Formwise?
formwise.ai. I forgot the pricing. It's inexpensive for what it does. It's a really good tool. It integrates into Go High Level. They got a $30 a month creator plan, and then it goes to 100 and 199. But you can create some really cool software with that.
Nice. Thank you.
Sorry,
Okay.
did you
Go
say
ahead.
that is in high level?
It'll integrate with High Level.
It'll integrate, which is awesome. And how is it spelled? FORMWI?
Somebody posted.
I put the link in
Oh,
chat.
cool. Thanks, Colleen.
Uh-huh,
Thanks.
you're welcome.
There we go. Okay, so the numbers are this: 18% have tried ChatGPT, 18% of the world population. Okay, 1.8% have a paid account. So hardly anybody even has a paid account. Yeah. And then how many of you guys actually have a developer API, like a little thing that you plug into, right? Okay, so you're in the 0.0018%. So if you're on this call and you're talking about it, you're ahead of the curve. You're ahead of it's coming. It's coming. The train hasn't passed. It's just still coming. But I was surprised by those numbers. I really thought like the number of people who tried it was going to be closer to 30, 40, but I don't know.
And most of the people that have tried is for asking a question or entertainment.
Yes.
So if you want that full report, it's the Pew Research Center. They conducted a survey July 17th to the 23rd, and that's where that information came from. Only 18% of Americans have ever used ChatGPT. It's the Pew, P-E-W Research Center article.
Yeah, it's just so yeah, next week let's do some AI stuff. I know, Kirsten, we talked about having you on a hot seat. Do you want to jump in and like we all just focus on what you need and then we'll wind it up? So we'll spend the last 10 minutes. You wanna?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So you share your business, share your problem, and then let's brainstorm some pricing strategies for her.
Okay, so we basically built an AI tool that helps people identify the underlying factors that are keeping them from getting pregnant, and then curate a multidisciplinary intervention to fix that. So that's our main product. But because of the live show that I do every day, people kept asking, well, what prenatal should I take? What vitamin D should I take? Whatever. And, you know, as an acupuncturist, we don't really care about supplements, but we more care about Chinese herbal medicine. But as I started researching, I saw that everybody was like really using garbage. But what we realized was that people need to be taking the right, instead of just taking every supplement, which is what they tend to do, really cheap, all supplements, we have this high level of personalization. So based after I saw your show, Carla, and read your book, I created a book, an audio book based on just like our whole practice of like how to identify the underlying factors and start to fix them, but at a more higher level. So my question is, and then the second thing is people who are infertile are very stressed and lonely. They are flipping out every single day. They're just really so demoralized. And so when I do my live show every day, they're always like, I wish I could talk to you every day. Like, I feel so much better. So I thought, oh, well, maybe I'll do just a 4-minute check-in audio recording every single day. So they wake up and take their temperatures. And I was like, it'll be me talking to you. just very informally about either something inspirational, something motivational, what's in the research, like what I would make a TikTok, but not curate for views or likes or anything. Literally like what I want to talk about right here in my bed, in my pajamas, but I don't have to be camera ready for, and way more informal. And so they can subscribe to that. That's my offering. One, what's recommendation on the book? And currently I sold 60 copies in the first 5 days at $9.
Nice.
Which is okay. And I haven't started promoting it's called The Daily Show, this little short form for thing. So just trying to think about, like, I heard what you said at the beginning about pricing. What do people think about pricing on this?
Do I want to take Mark's method by going backwards? Or do you just want to?
I'm not looking for, really, I'm trying to use this as a way to, like additional money will be great for it. That's a real bad dog. But for me, it's an access to build my SMS list. I want to keep it like fairly affordable, and for them to build intimacy with me so that when I recommend any products, they're just like, definitely anything she is promoting, we're going to buy. And then I'll promote products through that podcast.
How much is your AI tool?
100
a month?
Yeah.
It's a loss leader. I mean,
Yeah.
if you send out, okay, well, I do millions of messages a month on Telnex that I SMS, so I have a really good rate. So, but if you figure a penny per message and you're texting them this audio, let's say you text the audio every morning, or you leave it on there, whatever you're doing, let's say you're texting it. And if you figure a penny per message, then that's 30 cents a month. So anything you charge them over that is profit. So
Gotcha.
if it's a loss leader, I would say, people really don't blink at $7 a month or $9, but seven's my comfy one. And so if you throw something out there for $7 a month, I've got people that have mentioned it in chat that are paying me $27 a month to have me kind of a retainer, to have me on standby if they have questions or problems or things they want. And I have people that have been on there for years that have not asked one question, but they pay it as a retainer fee. But that's $7 a month. You should.
Do they do it as a so if I wanted to ask, if I had you retainer, what does that look like? Do they get 5 minutes? Do they get an email?
No, they get an hour. Yeah, or whatever it takes to solve their problem. I used to work as an image consultant at a very high level, like, senators and presidential candidates and Hollywood people. I mean, at a very high level. So if I have a senator that was going in, she's up for re-election right now. And so she's been paying me for years and years and years, $27 a month. I really undercharge her, but she'll fly me to wherever she is, and we'll so that's what we did. She had a debate coming up, and we just redid all of her outfits and all that kind of stuff. But normally a lot of them are just moms. They're like, I have my husband's Christmas party coming up and I don't know what to wear, or so there's people that have been paying me $27 a month for years. And I do like a quarterly get together, so we just get on Zoom and quarterly, and just everybody can chat and ask questions and do whatever. Or every once in a while I'll send them stuff by email, and it's access, and people pay to be in the inner circle. They may never take advantage of it, but they have access to me and they pay for that.
My people would try to talk to me every single day if I let them have an hour.
Oh, you'd be surprised. But I think I used to work in infertility and work with people, and so I know what you mean about temperatures and mucus and everything. So so that may be a little bit different, but if you don't, but back to your original question, I think it's a loss leader at $7 a month that introduces them to you. You're proving yourself, you're getting them to know, love, and trust you. And then the other purchases from there on out are just like, I trust her. So if she's recommended this, I'm going to get it. So I would consider it a loss leader at $7 a month, and that covers your costs, and it's an intro, but they're still paying you $7 a month for it.
The other option too is, which really quick before I forget, Carla, is Colleen, I believe, who you're hooking up with to try to get us a solution for the SMS texting, because Twilio is really becoming a pain.
No, it's not Colleen, but I'm going to,
Because
put
I
it
heard
can help.
Telmex and I was
talk
like,
to
is
her,
this the
so-
one? Is this
I'll
the
talk
one?
to you about that. No,
Yeah,
it-
Telmex is a provider. Twilio is like a broker. So Telmex has the phone number.
I'm getting so over them. But anyways, back to, I'm
Telmex.
sorry.
Well, Colleen, I'm going to send you an email. Okay.
No, we gotta get that fixed because
Yeah. No,
was
actually, it
frustrating.
was Carrie. She was at the
Okay.
event. I don't know if you know Carrie. I don't know her last name off the top of my head now, but she's like, yeah, I go to the mothership and I can hook you up. But I've been
Okay.
pinging her, and she hasn't responded too much. Well, there's been Go High Levels event and all these other things going on. So,
Yeah. With
people.
Kirsten, that number 27, again, research that we did in the IM world, people tend not to really see that number like every month. That's kind of why a lot of people don't unsubscribe or stop paying it, because it's a small enough number to where it doesn't really hit them hard. So 27 is kind of like that magic number. Once you start going above that, then people will start to kind of notice it. Sometimes majority of them don't. The second thing, what I was thinking of, which Carla knows about because of Perry, and I think I see a fellow Ignite member in here. I think it's Steven. I'm not sure if he's in there, but a newsletter. So you could, do a paid newsletter. And in the paid newsletter, you could have everything in there, right? You could have an audio version of the newsletter, a QR code, you could have your offers, and we can write, today, because of ChatGPT, your entire newsletter can be automatically generated. So that's something that you can think about, because there's people out there right now that are charging anywhere from $300 to $1,200 for a yearly subscription for a newsletter. And so that might be another thing, because if you can get that to the point where it grows, eventually that thing is going to be worth money, because it can cost you, like the model that we've been learning from is around $2 to acquire a person onto your list. Now you got 30,000, 50,000 subscribers, but every time you mail on it, it's averaging maybe like $30, cost per seat or earnings per click, if you will. So when you go to that broker, that name is no longer worth $2. It could be worth 15, it could be worth 30. And that's how these high-end newsletter acquisitions are happening right now, like with Newsnet and all them, because they're building a very valuable list where that's becoming the new thing. And that's like, I'm kind of like, if Perry says to go in a direction, I go in that direction. He's been really, really going hard on newsletters. It's the new way that people are building a valuable asset. One gentleman did 10 million in 10 months because he had built the list so fast and he was proving the value of that list. It was acquired for 10 million.
So what happens to your clients after they get pregnant? Do you keep serving them in a different level? Like now that you're pregnant?
Yeah. So our technical roadmap, like we're in our earliest version of the MVP of this AI product. What we're building in the next version with the influx of some cash is what we realized from this company. Like I started this company in 2016 and it failed. And then I resuscitated it during the pandemic with TikTok. And what we realized is in the first version of it, we had scrubbed me out of it. And, as a venture-backed company, and investors were like, well, if you're the front man of the company, it makes it really hard to be a unicorn, can't sell it. And that was a huge mistake. And so this new version will use a digital twin of me that will, instead of having you fill out a quiz, it'll say, hi, Carla, I'm Kirsten. I was one of the first board certified reproductive acupuncturists in North America. I'm going to help you figure out what's going on. You can either record a video or audio, or you can text me your story. Tell me everything that's going on. And then we'll use natural language processing to grab the relevant information. And then it will generate a script for the digital twin of me that'll say, holy shit, you've had 5 IVFs and 16 IUIs and 3 miscarriages. You must be growing crazy. Listen, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. I'm going to figure out, and then I'm going to make you a plan. And so then instead of being a one-time event, they will be able to come in, subscribe, and interact with my digital twin anytime. So they're like, it's weird, my temperatures are still not coming up, Kirsten. And the digital twin will be able to look at the information that they've tracked, analyze it, and say, oh, well, let's add these things to your food. Let's make these changes. You're still too tired. We need whatever. So to answer your question, what happens after they get done? Once that conceivable piece is all the way built, like the good thing about in Western medicine, we have a disease and we have a treatment for it. In Chinese medicine, you have diseases and you do the same thing for every person. You figure out the underlying factors and you fix them. It's the only way to do it. So what we'll do is we'll stamp that exact roadmap into menopause, post-menopause. Most important to me is for girls before they've had their first period, preparing for their first period. Because when I first started on TikTok, I grew an audience to over 300,000 followers in 4 months talking about periods. And yeah, I mean, I'm very
Are you
scrappy,
there, God? It's me, Kirsten.
but I'm like the sassiest, like I'm the cool old cussing aunt.
She doesn't, she's too young to know what I'm referring.
No,
You know
I know
Judy
it.
Bloom?
I'm older than you, girl.
You don't look at Judy
No.
Bloom. That's what I was
Yeah.
referring to. Yeah.
No, they would be asking me questions like, because nobody would talk to them. And so they'd be like on the live, they would say, Kirsten, I want to use a tampon, but I don't know where to put it.
Yep.
And I was like, girls, there's 3 holes. And they'd be like, no way, there's not 3 holes. I looked, I'm like, there are pee hole, poop hole. There's another one in the middle. And they'd be like, no fucking way. It's like, go in the bathroom, wash your
Sorry,
hands.
guys. If you're like
Hey,
offended,
Troy,
I'm
so,
sorry.
did you catch the game on the weekend?
Yeah, exactly. All the guys are like,
How about them Rangers?
That's exactly why girls don't have anybody to talk to, which is why I am happy to make everyone uncomfortable, because they don't feel like they can talk to anyone,
Yeah.
not their parents, not their teachers. So they sit in the bathroom for weeks trying to figure out where to put a tampon. So anyways, so I'll go once the company is really making money, I will go back and build, because they're like, they want to know when their first period is. And so I was like, and they want to hurry their first period. They want to be grown up. And so what we can do is say, well, if you want it, you know, what I would say is like, if you want to get your period to come on time, you have to have a healthy body.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very interested in your work because I've done a lot of similar work in my past.
Let's connect offline.
We should, definitely connect, because
You guys are both in the group.
marketing. Yes, well, that's true.
Yeah,
but
so
my
you can find
marketing
her on
mind is
Facebook.
just going nuts right now, because I know all the issues you're talking about, and then they go to their OBGYN, their moms take them and put them on the pill so they can regulate their periods, totally F them up. And so I really want to help you.
Oh, thank you. I would love that.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to call it because I got a little one to pick up. I just gotta text somebody.
Thanks for everybody's good advice, by the way. I really appreciate it.
I think what you got to do is post in the group or share next time what you chose to do. All right, don't leave us hanging.
I'm gonna go with 7. I'll go with $6.99.
There you go.
Make it
$6.99.
7. Just roll
Yeah,
it to
make
7.
it 7. I think
The nines mess people up. Roll it to
Oh,
7.
okay.
Keep it at
7
7.
it is. I'll
Yeah.
let you know in a few weeks, see how it.
The 7
Whoa,
is
I'm
a
excited.
psychological thing. That's 7. And is it okay to reach out to you too, Colleen, in the Facebook group about Telnex?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got 4 private messages right now, and I'm trying to reply to everybody, but just reach out to me in the Facebook group or on Facebook. Just friend me on Facebook or follow me or whatever.
Yeah, because
Please reach out. Yeah, because I've got a team of 5 I've got my own team at Telnex, because I bring them so much business. with my
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
So
there you go, Carla.
I'm calling you.
yeah, call me.
I will. All right, guys. This is
Thank you
always
so
so
much.
much fun. This is the highlight of my week. So thank you for taking time to be together.
Thank you.
And
Carla, somebody noticed that you can't make a copy of the doc that you shared.
Oh, you can?
You have to change the permission.
Let me check that out.
It's a
I have
Google
it as
Doc.
viewer.
You
I
can
have
make
it
it.
as viewer. Done.
Yeah, but then you can still make a copy,
You-
can't you?
You can make
You
a
can
copy,
copy
but
and
there you go.
paste.
Just, file, make a copy. That's all you need to do.
All right, guys. Happy
Happy
Halloween.
Halloween. Stay safe.
Bye.
Yep.
Stay
See
safe,
you soon.
everybody.